Hi everyone, and welcome to week 5 of SDAHO's legislative update of the 2026 legislative session. Tim, let's start with you. It's been a crazy week in Pierre. I know there were some losses. What can you share?
Jacob and I and the team have been talking about really just kind of an attack on healthcare this year. We feel under attack. Probably the most anti kind of healthcare friendly bills I think I've seen in 24 years. Probably one of our bigger losses was a property rights bill. It was kind of focused on one part of the state, literally one specific community. But what the bill does is removes property rights for putting in covenants or anything like that on your property for healthcare across the state. So it repeals all of your property rights. Not successful in stopping that in committee or on the floor. And so now we got some work to do on the Senate side to see if we can get control of that again.
Yeah, that seemed similar to what we saw then this morning. House Bill 1171 was looking at, and similar to the bill from last year, it's looking at allowing blood donors to state whether they have or have not received a COVID vaccine or any mRNA vaccine before in their entire lifetime. And basically, the intent of the bill is for then a patient who's about to get a blood transfusion in a non-emergent situation could have the choice and say, you know, I don't want blood that's been tainted with the mRNA vaccine. I thought we had a really good lineup of opponents to the bill this morning. And, unfortunately, the committee, it was a close vote, but the committee did vote to send that to the floor. So another one for next week. So we'll be working the House floor to make sure that we can talk about that and really the limitations that might put on our blood supply, which is already fragmented and difficult, especially in our rural communities.
So let's talk about some of our wins. Medical conscience. This was House Bill 1153. Share what you know.
Really a great team effort to defeat that on the floor. That did get out of committee on the House side. We defeated on the floor pretty resoundingly in the low 40s. They get at about 26-7 votes for it. So felt pretty good about that win. That was a big one. It would have had just ramifications again statewide through healthcare, kind of shifting all of the safety net to providers and really leaving patients out to hang. And through some good arguments, good team effort, really we're able to stop that on the House side again.
Senate Bill 161, repeal an exemption for certain healthcare facilities. What happened with that bill?
We've really struggled with our killing bad bills in our committee, especially the House Health Committee. And so it was refreshing to see that we were able to take care of a bad bill in committee on the Senate side. So on Senate taxation, I believe we had a 6-0 vote on that one. Essentially was looking at removing the current property tax exemption for healthcare facilities. So all healthcare facilities, nursing homes, hospitals, the CSPs got in that one with us as well. But really was just nice to see that one died in committee and we're not having to fight that one on the floor as well.
Yeah. There was some what I'd call just smaller victories, just additional compact bills, respiratory therapy, physical therapy,
athletic trainers.
So, just kind of continuing that compact train. And Jacob talked a little bit about rural recruitment.
Yeah, the annual bill, we're paying those providers who have done their 3-year commitment in a rural community. And so this bill is just kind of backfilling that to make sure that the state can make those payments that are owed. And that was unanimously passed from the Joint Committee on Appropriations, which, we always expect to see, but honestly, sometimes you never really know. There were some good questions in there, I guess, about the funding amounts, but otherwise very supportive from our appropriators. So.
Good news, I would say, too, on that note, they set the revenue estimates for next year. Jacob maybe go into details, but I think many of you may have already seen in the news, which broke a couple hours ago, the governor is proposing a 1% increase. So that's up from 0, still not, it's not 5%, but boy, we'll take whatever we can get. And it looks like a 1% across the board. And that would be very welcome.
As we look to week 6, you already alluded to a few bills that will be on the floor. What else are you looking at?
I think we've got a couple of anti-vax bills coming up next week that we're already working on. We got kind of an insurance bill that's still hanging out there that we're looking at. And that might be about
I think more vaccines and insurance.
Yep.
With that, thank you again for all you do. We'll see you next week.